What's going on, traders? It is January 27th, 2024. It is 7:17 a.m. and it is the professional trader here, back again with another video. For this video, I kind of just wanted to go over some of the trades that I took last week and show how some of them went, and just kind of show my progress on some trades that I took, and talk about my FTMO as well. Before that though, I do want to take a look at the DXY. Just real quick, because it was a pretty interesting week, for the DXY. We broke out of this resistance January 16th. Retested it once again, pushed up higher, came down, retested it again, pushed up higher, and then came down, to this now support level once again. So it's been a back and forth between, the DXY and um, you know, not the most, we don't have a clear trend, on which way the markets are going. It's not going up, it's not going down. It's just kind of been consolidating ever since we broke out of this resistance. But that's the DXY. Some trades that I did take last week. To just start the list. The first one would be USD CAD. So basically my idea with USD CAD was, if the dollar was going to be bullish, because I was short term bullish on the dollar, but I still feel like long term the path to least resistance is still to the downside. But for the moment, price action and fundamentals are most definitely bullish dollars. So we had a break of this resistance that happened on January 15th. And after that break of resistance, we came and, we didn't retest it perfectly, but we retested this once, resistance area, that was here, right? And price was making these, higher lows, not a high, not a high, not a high, higher high, higher low. And this higher low matches, with that resistance. Not the most clear level, but it does, make sense. And then, if we take our fib tool from this swing low to this swing high right here, we had that 382 level, right? So, didn't touch it perfectly right, but was aware of that level right there. So my mindset was when we came down here again and we broke back above this resistance, because we fell below resistance. That's at least kind of how I mark my levels. I mark them to the high of the wick. So once we broke back below, it looked, slightly bearish, and I feel like a lot of people were taking sells in this area. But like I said, I was aware of that 382 level that's down here, right? So once we broke back above this broken resistance level right here, I went ahead and took my trade, on this candle right here, right? So right, we broke back above the resistance on the 4 hour on this candle. So after that closed, I took a buy on USD CAD on the next 4 hour candle, and I was pretty positive, for a while. I mean, immediately, not anything crazy, but I was positive immediately. We broke up, had bearish momentum, recovered well. Looked like we were gonna close higher potentially on this candle right here, right? But then we see the 4 hour candle had a lot of bearish momentum. The next 2 hour, 4 hour candles, so that's 8 hours, we're bullish, followed by just bearish momentum, right? And then, it looked like we might have potentially, started to see sellers come in, right? Big bearish momentum, a lower candle, right? But then immediately, the buyers step right back in, kind of like the DXY, right? Kept bouncing back and forth, kind of what USD CAD is doing. It's bouncing back and forth, right? But then, we hit that once resistance level once again, and we saw that we found immediate buyers, in it, and it was fast, right? That's a big impulse candle to the upside, followed by another big impulse candle to the upside. And in my experience, seeing things like this, you know, usually it looks good, right? When you see nice impulse candles to the upside like that, for the most part, the markets will continue. The next 4 hour candle, it wasn't so impulsive, but it still did close green. Then the next one closed red, and then we started to see impulse candles, the other way. Not as big as these ones, right? But a pretty bearish, right? Closed, most of its body, and then another lower candle, and then a candle that closed all the way up here failed. Closed bearish, a closed bullish, but in my opinion, a bearish, signal, signaling that this market does not have strength, right? And then after that, we saw another impulsive candle to the downside, and then we just saw it push lower. So there's really no trend right now on USD CAD. So I got stopped out for a small profit. You know, Price made these highs over here, and I was out of this trade pretty early last week, but this is still a trade that I took. I entered over here, and I I don't exactly remember where I entered, but I feel like I closed it somewhere once I this candle happened, and saw this small momentum. I'm pretty sure I closed out somewhere around here, right? And I would have been in profit if I did hold because my stop loss never got hit. But the price action nonetheless is still just not the greatest on USD CAD. So I'm not really gonna talk about what I'm looking for. I'll make another video about that tomorrow, but that is just one trade that I took USD CAD. Another trade that I took last week was Euro USD. So my mindset was, if the dollar was bullish, then more than likely Euro USD was going to fail. So once we broke out of this, support level right here, you could draw it right here. We broke out of it, right? Retested it once, came down low, came back up here again, right? I mean, you could say I entered the trade kind of early because I entered somewhere like right in this region, right, with a stop loss just above here. And then, we see that when I entered, price was, against me, you know, um, Price not did my stop loss almost got hit, but not really, right? But when I did enter, price to go against me, right? But as long as this level right here never got, broken above, the trade was still good, right? So, we see that we came up here, pretty nicely, rejected that level, pretty perfectly, saw some bearish candles, looked like it may have broken out in this area right here, right? We saw that buyers, tried to break out here for a third time. But, right after that, we saw big bearish momentum, right? Big candle to the downside, big candle to the downside, and another big candle to the downside, even making another low, right? At least on the 4 hour, maybe not on the daily, but on the 4 hour, breaking below this support level right here. So I was pretty profitable at one point on Euro USD from here to here about 59 pips. So at one point I was up about 59 pips, but I was looking for more of a swing trade, back to these lows right here, right? But so once price made this low, um, I know there was some Euro news. I think PMI numbers came out at like 2 a.m. I don't remember the day, right? But the numbers were mixed, right? There were some better than expected numbers and then some not so better than expected numbers, right? And that caused, you know, I guess the Euro to be bullish, for the day at least, because, as soon as the USD numbers came out that same day, right? We saw the reverse of Euro USD, right? But I was pretty profitable at one point on Euro USD. Instead of taking profit on this trade, all I basically did was move my stop loss to break even. So, if the market did reverse on me, then the only money I would lose was the swap fees that I paid. But, we created this low. After creating this low, we had a pretty big, impulsive candle, the other way. And, when things like that happen, that's pretty a telling sign that something might change in the markets, because to close is bearish and then to close immediately you know about halfway back of the previous candle, that's pretty telling. And then after that, closed higher, not as impulsive, right, but still higher than this candle. And then right high, this candle got broken again. So looking at hindsight, maybe I should have just closed out the trade completely and looked for a retest and captured profits. But I didn't lose on the trade, so that's still a win in my opinion. But right, and we saw that eventually stop loss did get hit, right, peaked just above. Looked like it was gonna break to the upside potentially, right? Looked like we had a a breakout. This is a technically a higher high. But that's why the 4 hour candle and the daily chart candles are just so nice, right? Because it's okay. 4 hour breakout. Let's see how the next 4 hour candle reacts. Are we gonna touch this broken resistance level again, and are we gonna fail and continue higher? But right, the next 4 hour candle showed that, you can call it a fake out, you can call it what you want, but the next 4 hour candle showed that, that there were still sellers ready to defend this market, right? So as quick as it came up, is as quick as it came down. And then right after that 4 hour candle, right, sellers showed that they were ready to defend it once again, closing below, closing below. We had buyers try to step in once again, but right after we saw sellers say nope. And then, big impulsive candle to the downside. But, what do we see, right? We came back to this level here, and it seems like um not seems like, but buyers have stepped in once again, right? So what's the trend on Euro USD? I'll give my personal opinion on that, tomorrow when I make my weekly outlook video, but that is just one trade that I took last week, Euro USD. So not a win on it, not a loss on it, but I didn't lose on it, so still a win in my opinion. Um yeah, so one trade that I am in though at the moment, I guess kind of not saving me because I didn't lose any money, but kind of only trade keeping me going, keeping me profitable at the moment is CAD JPY. Not a pair that I really trade. I'll have to be, completely honest. But the setup from a price action standpoint, did look really good, right? We had this resistance level right here that failed once, twice, broke above, retested higher, retested, broke above higher again, right? And then we see that the market retraced back to this once, um once resistance level, right? Not the cleanest. I mark my candles to the highs of the wicks, but these highs of the wicks don't always hold all the time. It held here, but it didn't hold here, right? But that doesn't mean that I automatically switch my bias because the markets don't care what I draw up, right? So, but we do see that this resistance level right here that had failed twice was able to hold, right? So the market broke back above, right? And then what made me enter was this candle right here because, I'll show it on the 1 hour actually. So price price, broke above, broke here, retested, broke above, came down all the way up. Sellers tried to come down all the way over here, right? And then a big body wick, right? Followed by a big impulse candle to the upside, followed by another big impulse candle to the upside. And those are that's the kind of price action I personally like because on the 4 hour chart that's pretty telling, right? Sellers at one point tried to push this market all the way down here, and then the buyers said nope, turned it all the way around, and then closed very impulsively to the upside. Not even, technically, yeah, even breaking above this wick high right here. So when I saw that candle, I think I took it on, may have took it on Thursday. I think I took it on Thursday. I'm not completely sure, but right, I took the trade off of that 4 hour candle right there. And then, yeah, it's a profit right now, right? We're seeing that buyers are able to step into this market. So it's about to hit, a resistance level right here. I've moved my stop loss to break even, but, really want to see if it can head back, to these highs right here. That's really what I'm looking for. So I'm not looking to take any profit right now on it. And, in the future, that might be a dumb decision. If it does come up here, and it does retrace all the way down, then it'll be like, yeah, of course, dude, you should have, took your profits. But really just trying to capitalize as much as I can. And the market really hasn't given me that next level to like put my stop loss potentially at, right? It's like I could put it, maybe right here, just to capture some movement. But right, I'd rather just have my stop loss to break even and see what happens, right? Could this momentum carry on, and can we, maybe break that and head back to these highs? So that's more so what I'm looking for. So that is one trade that I am in, that I am currently up on. Um, so here is my FTMO account for anybody who is following me on that journey. Took some Oh man, yeah, I took some losses. I didn't talk about that trade actually. That's wrong of me. I should have talked about that trade. I could show it right here though. Took some small losses on USD CAD and Euro AUD, but nonetheless, at the moment I am up. With equity, I am up $113, so 1.13%. Without equity, I am up 0.73%. So, you know, looking to see, what kind of momentum I can get in the markets going next week. There's a lot of important fundamental news coming out, so that will be important. But yeah, tomorrow I'll give more of my personal outlook for the week and how I'll be reacting if certain things do happen. But that's just my overview on some trades that I took last week. But appreciate to anybody who was watching. I appreciate to the people who are liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you guys, and I will see you soon.